Well, hello and welcome to Business Wrap. I'm Salvia, and starting with our special focus today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led NDA government has completed 100 days in office. We will be today focusing on that as there is a positive, wide feeling among the common people. And has numerous achievements to its credit in the field of agriculture, ease of doing business and increasing FDI, railway modernization, the Jan Dhan Yojana, Swachh Bharat, Ganga rejuvenation, among many others. Here for discussion on that, we are joined by Dr. Rakesh Mohan, Professor, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. Welcome to DD News, sir. I would start with 100 days of the Modi government at the center. It is definitely not the right time to assess 100 days, is just too short. But assessment of the 100 days, how would you do that?
You know, the most important thing that this government has done is, over the last several years, you know, the entire business environment in this country was extremely pessimistic.
Right.
Now, it's very difficult to assess the government, but something I think the various surveys says, and otherwise also, either you talk to bureaucracy, common people, technocrats in India and outside wherever I go, I see that all sentiments have changed to a positive sentiment.
Right.
And not only positive, it was extremely encouraging sentiments.
Right.
The reason behind these sentiments are very, very strategic issues that Mr. Modi has taken. One thing which I think the Prime Minister said in the very beginning, that, you know, the governance. Something which I think government has to focus on the governance and the key issues. The key issues for any governance involves, you know, streamlining of the system.
Right.
You know, the streamlining system, you know, especially in the India, you were seeing that last 4-5 years, there was a lot of hue and cry on the issue of corruption.
Right.
And there were, you know, everybody was putting a flag, you know, anti-corruption, anti-corruption, anti-corruption. Now, anti-corruption, the movement was beneficial to the country because it created awareness among the people for corruption. But at the same time, you know, with this anti-corruption movement and government's inability to control corruption, you know, the bureaucracy in this country became indecisive. And every bureaucrat was thinking that in case he takes a decision, you know, he is unaware that tomorrow he'll be behind the bar and some, you know, politician could be saved. So now I think he has given, he initially with the starting, you know, right from the appointment of even the political, his colleagues, you know, he had certain
austerity measures for his
not only
ministers.
austerity, you know, he said that, you know, non-following of the nepotism.
Right.
He said to the politicians that, you know, don't employ your kin and your relatives into the key positions or the PS and those things.
Right.
So I think the corruption, and, you know, any control of corruption goes from the top. And the Prime Minister, I think at Nagpur he has said, which I recall, that, you know, na khaunga na khane dunga.
Right.
So I think all corruption movements in this country have immediately disappeared. And people in the bureaucracy, you know, I've got the friends across bureaucracy, when I talk to them, they said that, you know, when there is no corruption at the top, the corruption is going to, you know, is going to, you know, at least minimize or disappear from the scene at the lowest level. So this is one. Second thing, with the biggest problem which we are seeing is, you know, in FDI, the basic problem was, you know, we had the rules, you are aware that 2-3 years back, you know, despite of so many discussions, you know, which we are having in this channel and other channels also, which I know I've been, you know, one basic problem, we passed this retail FDI in multi-brand retail.
Right.
But despite, you know, the FDI has not come. The problem was not on the rules, but problem was somewhere else. The basic problem was in implementation of these rules. And the basic problem was in red tapes, and, you know, despite of the government having said that, you know, FDI was permitted, people were not coming.
Right.
So there was basic problem with the bureaucracy, basic problem with the procedures. And the Modi has said in his recent visit in Japan,
no red tape,
no
but
red
we'll welcome
only
red
carpet.
carpet.
Only red carpet. And it is, I think, a very key strategic initiative that the Prime Minister has taken. This is a key strategic change that I think the Modi government has done. And this is, you have seen, you know, not only the psychological, but if you see today's, you know, the Sensex or these indexes, they intimate historical level they have reached.
We've seen them going soaring high since the Modi government has said there has been
and
a positive sentiment basically.
Very positive sentiment.
There is a change in the approach that one looks at the government, at the politicians, because of the various kinds of measures that the Modi government is taking on. Given the fact that nepotism, you talked about, the austerity measures that are being taken from the government and cutting the red tapeism and they're on the top level, starting from definitely that is going to crawl down to the lower level as well, so that the corruption will go
corruption
over.
starts from the top, not from the bottom.
Yeah, so it will start, it will end there.
Absolutely right. So earlier, I think the approach to correct the corruption at the lower level, somebody takes 500 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 2 lakhs rupees, is no. If you have to end the corruption, I think we need to touch at the highest level.
Right.
And this is what Modi government
So
has
all the
done.
right notes the government
Very
is
right
making
notes.
definitely from.
And one thing which he has taken is, I think the one problem in India for, the biggest incentive, I think I discuss at various forums, how to increase exports, how to bring investment. To increase the export, the basic measures that we take in the foreign export policy, certain incentives, for the marketing and all that, it is not sufficient. The basic thing that the government has to do is to increase the export, we need to increase competitiveness of the Indian product.
Right.
And to increase competitiveness of the Indian product, we need to, create an environment where manufacturing can be done in this
So that's why
country.
he has given the slogan of "Come Make in India."
Come make in India. It is wonderful.
Right.
You go to any market on the earth, you find the market flooded with the Chinese
Right.
products. You go to any supermarket in United States, Canada and Europe, you find almost 70 or even more goods merchandise coming from China.
Right.
And this, I think, trend we have to change, because India has got a lot of land. India has got the people.
Right.
Which I think the Prime Minister has talked in the Japan is, he has talked about the demography. Demography and demand.
Right.
Demography
Triple
in
D.
this country is unparalleled to any other country on the earth.
Right.
Because Japan, the basic problem is, the aging population. What developed countries have got? Developed countries have got two strategic advantages over the developing countries, especially India.
Right.
One is they have got the technology, cutting edge technology, and second thing what the developed country has got, the big brand names.
Right.
So brand names they are getting, and second is the cutting edge technology.
Right, Dr. Joshi, we heard the common man saying about that the taskmaster is here. We also said that the decisive government, because the way implementation of the Jan Dhan Yojana has taken place and various decisions that are being fast-tracked, given the fact that stall projects, that decisions are being taken. And also, we heard someone saying about the inflation that has come down, but definitely it is not that much under control. But of course, we can say for now it is under control, but we'll have to wait and watch, because the monsoon scenario is not pretty well here. So, given what do you have to say about the food inflation? Earlier, we saw RBI and the government to work in tandem. There was talks of them, so definitely they are working in tandem. You'll say that.
No, the problem is, the inflation and all these things are going to take time.
Right.
Basically, I think we need to look at, what is the structural changes being made.
Right.
Inflation is, in India, as you are aware that, the inflation is basically seasonal. Agriculture has got a very difficult problem. Agriculture is basically rain-fed. We have got another, but if you see, the 2 days back, the government said that, about 50% of the fund in the NREGA has to go for the water conservation.
Right.
Now that is extremely important. So in case something is done on the water harvesting and the water conservation, now what will happen is, the dependability on rain is going to reduce. One thing which I think Mr. Modi is giving attention very particularly and personally to increase the electricity and the energy. If you look at the electricity problem, India has got the highest number of people on the earth who are without electricity.
Right.
And therefore electricity is a very important focus. And this requires, the basic changes in the whole system of infrastructure. And the other thing, if you look into the farmers thing, what has very recently happened is, the Jan Dhan Yojana, which is extremely inclusive. Almost, 2 crore people have already been added to that.
Right.
The basic problem in our Indian financial structure was the banking system. Now, in the banking system, you are aware a majority of population in this country are beyond the banking system. India, prior to independence, we had highly established network of post offices.
Right.
And there was a postal saving schemes. Now, with these banks and, some multinational banks coming, we made this post office saving schemes as irrelevant. Now, with this, there are more than 50,000 villages in this country which are not connected. Any kind of connectivity is not there with the telecommunication. And therefore, the postal system is existent in that system. So, I think this whole scheme will work in revitalizing that system, making the people who are away from, the main financial stream, which the Prime Minister says is financial untouchability.
Right.
So, that would get included, and the CPAs of the funds, under the various schemes, like the urea and all that will get mainstreamed, and I'm extremely optimistic about, I think, the steps being taken by the government.
Right, definitely 100 days is too short to assess any government.
Highly short to assess.
Because
the
government has mandate of 5 years and a long way to go from here.
5 years and more than, like Prime Minister is talking of the bullet trains,
right.
and yesterday he was talking of the India is a great market.
Right.
India is a market for most cases as big as the whole of the Europe. And India says, India is a democratic market. You cannot reverse that decision. It is the people's decision. Another thing what he said is the big market.
Right.
Given size of this market, India is a market which is highly lucrative for investment and marketing for any firms across the world.
Right.
And therefore, he has been extremely strategic in using this strategy in Japan. The biggest problem in Japan is the aging population.
Right.
India, because we have a lot of working population, talented population, at the same time,
young as well.
and the young as well. And therefore, Japan is looking for some very, very reliable country where it goes for manufacturing at a low-cost location.
Right.
India is a low-cost location. Japan is a high-cost location. But as you are aware, what we call in technical term as the country of origin impact. International market compared to any other market, and therefore if you see that India is probably the right place for investment for Japan, not from the India's point of view, but even from the point of the Japan's point of view.
Right.
And this India being a low cost manufacturing location can make Japanese company to enter into a global markets and make them international markets, because you are aware of the strained relations between Japan and China. And you are also seeing the strained relations between the United States and rest of the world, especially the Middle East and the Islamic countries.
Right.
And therefore, I think this strategic partnership with India, with Japan, offers a tremendous advantage, and it's a win-win situation for both the countries.
Right. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also termed it as the most successful in first 100 days, the $35 billion that will also be coming here in India. Dr. Joshi, we are really running short of time, but I'll have to really thank you here for joining us today and putting that perspective for the government, and hope that is definitely there is a long way to go for the Modi government. 100 days is too short to assess any government. Well, thank you very much for joining us today and putting that in perspective.